of you may actually relate from the simple and meaningful video that we've actually shown you. Aside from the fact that, of course, we are all enjoying the benefits from all these technologies, the video can also make us realize the very reason why we need to innovate. That is to simplify our lives. With all these technologies, our lives are actually much, much simpler. Do you imagine if we don't have mobile phones right now? If there's still no internet? If all of these technologies are not available for us? Our life is actually much simpler now. It's so easy to communicate, it's so easy to get information through the internet, and our work and the way we transact with companies, the services are easier to actually be availed of because of all these technologies. These are all about innovation. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar session today. It is entitled Innovating the Government, the Co-Creation Innovation Process. Yes, innovation is the new in thing now. This is something that we have to take on. This is the only way forward for us. So, are you ready to innovate? We are about to innovate the government. And one way to actually do it is to just look around you and get some ideas from this. And then let's test these ideas. So before we proceed with our discussion, let me show you one more video. So, were you able to get some ideas from the Project Win video? Can we actually make our transaction also at the very comfort of the homes of our clients? Can we make use of the same technology such as a drone in providing services to them? Can we transform our government services to ease the burden of our clients? We can all do this through innovation. Actually, when we speak of innovation, what is it really about? How do we define innovation? Innovation is about developing new methods, new products, new features, or new systems. From the root word nova, the Latin word for new. But actually, with all the many definitions of innovation, let me give you this simple one. Innovation is practically putting your ideas into good use. Innovation is also both a process and an outcome. A process because it is our way of coming up with new ideas and creating value for the intended users. It is also an outcome where new value or benefits or impact is actually achieved. So it means a simple idea that may actually not be completely new, but has resulted to a new value and a greater impact to the people. It is still an innovation. And also, innovation at a macro level is a key source of long-term growth, both in traditional and high-growth, high-value-added sectors. It can provide crucial contributions to higher productivity and confront global and social challenges. That is innovation. Given this simple definition of innovation, that is, of course, new and simple, it follows that for innovation to be successful, it has to have these three ingredients. One, it should be what people want. We have to understand deeper what they actually expect, what they actually need, and what their issues are. Is a very important ingredient for your innovation to be successful. It has to be something that has been derived from their needs and expectations. Two, your innovation must be doable. It can be made. It has to be something that is visible, that we can make happen. That is also one ingredient for a successful innovation. Because sometimes our idea can be too ambitious, but it's so hard to make it happen. So it must be doable or feasible. Lastly, your innovation must be something that can be sustained. It's not a one-time, big-time project and then that's it. When we think of an idea or an innovation, it should be something that we can replicate, that we can sustain, meaning more and more people can actually benefit from it. More and more people can actually adopt it. That is something that more people can actually benefit from your innovation. These three ingredients for a successful innovation must all be present when we come up with innovation. The question now is, why is it important for a government to be innovative? Why do we need to innovate the Philippine government? The reason is that innovation is all about simplifying and improving the lives of our people. This is something that people actually want, something that our people deserve. So it should be something that our government should be providing. And also, innovation is actually the only way forward. This is the only road that we are leading to, the future. So we must be ready for the future. When we talk about innovation as well, or innovation in the government, it is also about supporting innovation of the public sector, or the private sector. If we would like the private sector to be innovative, the government must be innovative as well to provide the support system. Can you imagine if the government is not ready for the services such as the Grab, the services of the Facebook, of the social media, the services of online payment system? We will not be able to avail of these services. So the regulations, the policies of the government must be able to provide a support system and an enabling environment for the private sector to be innovative. So the government must be innovative. For us to be innovative, we have to be thinking out of the box. So to tickle your minds and to test your out of the box thinking, Let me give you this exercise. Right. Okay, now, where do you think, or what number is the car actually parked? I'll give you 10 seconds for this, and you can type in the chat box your answer. And let's see who can actually guess it right first. Your 10 seconds starts now. All right, 5 seconds remaining. Did someone already guess it right? Okay, so what is the answer? The answer is, at slot 87. Was it easy? How did you guess it right? Why is it hard for some people? Actually, this is about thinking out of the box because you are expected to not do your usual way of thinking. So if you look at the picture and just simply look at how it was presented to you, you won't be able to find the correct answer or the solution to the problem. But if you try to look at it at a different perspective, look at it in different ways, then you are actually thinking out of the box. You are trying to find different ways, new ways of solving the problem. That is innovation. If you keep on doing the things that you usually do, or solving problems using how you used to do the solving problems, then you might be missing new ideas, new approaches, or new value for your services. You might not be finding the right solutions to your problems. So the key is looking at different perspectives. Just like the picture, if you actually flip it upside down or you turn it, then you can find the right answer. So that is out of the box thinking. You need this to be able to do the co-creation innovation process. So let me introduce to you this innovation process that the DAP developed, of course inspired by the design thinking and the human-centered design of EDO.org. The co-creation innovation process. Why co-creation? Because we believe that innovation must be collaborative, mainly treating the stakeholders, especially our clients, as experts. Thus, they should be part of the innovation process. They should be part as co-designers, not simply as interviewees, but co-designers, co-innovators. We co-create with them. Just in this co-creation innovation process, you will be hearing a lot about empathy. We will be giving you information about this in a while, okay? Co-creation, again, because we would like to treat our stakeholders as co-designers, not simply as interviewers. We have to dig deeper to their needs and expectations. We have to co-create our solution, our innovation with them. So to do the co-creation innovation process, we have to bear in mind these principles. One, diversity. The team who will work on innovation should come from diverse background, should be cross-functional, no hierarchy. Everybody's ideas count. Remember, we need to view the challenge or the problem differently. We have to see different perspectives. So it follows that we have to come from diverse background. For example, the issues or the problems of the HR may actually be addressed using the ideas from the IT people, or the issue of procurement. The ideas may come from the HR people. So we have to welcome diversity in innovation. Next is wild ideas are encouraged. Crazy ideas might work. The wilder your ideas are, the better. Because we are aiming for something new, for something that might actually work. Also note that our goal when it comes to ideas is quantity over quality. Because when you have a handful of seeds, it is impossible to tell which ones are actually weeds until they've all been given a chance to grow. So, welcome all ideas, wild ideas, crazy ones. These are important in innovation. Another principle is building on the ideas of others. You need not force yourself to think of new ideas, but build on something that is already there. As we said, innovation is not all about something new. You may actually simply look around you and build from what is already there. Same thing if you do your brainstorming during the co-creation innovation process. If someone shared some ideas, try to build on those ideas. Don't force yourself to come up with new ones. Another principle is one of the most important ones, the empathy. Empathize. This is at the heart of the co-creation innovation. Understand the needs and burdens and expectations of the people you are innovating for. Go deeper into their issues. Create their persona. Only with this that you can achieve the first ingredient of successful innovation. That is what people want. Provide what they actually need. Lastly, prototype. Make your idea tangible. Get your idea across and test your idea. You need to make it happen. Do a rapid prototype testing. These are the 5 principles of the co-creation innovation process. And for you to be innovative or to do the innovation, you have to have this mindset. 1, be confident. Trust that you can be innovative. Trust your instincts, and of course, trust your teammates as well. Trust their ideas. Embrace ambiguity. Venture into the unknown. Embrace risks and opportunities. Empathize. We have mentioned this already. Walk into your customers' or stakeholders' shoes. Go deeper into their needs, issues, and expectations. Make it happen. As we said, prototype. Make it real. Test it. Maintain optimism. This is also related to learn from failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay to sometimes not be successful with your ideas. But remain the positivity. Know that you can actually come up with something good as well if you keep on failing. If you don't fail, you will never succeed. And iterate, iterate, and iterate over and over again. Don't stop. Again, it's related to learning from failure. You can always go back from the first step. The important thing is you keep on doing keep on exerting effort for your innovation. So here are the 4 phases of the co-creation innovation process. The first is define, followed by ideate, and then implement and scale up. When we define, this is the first step, this is where we frame the innovation challenge. We gather information. This is where we first empathize with our clients because we gather data on their needs and expectations and we create their stakeholder persona. And then after getting all the information about the needs and expectations of our clients, about their issues, and about their persona, we ideate. We come up with insights and ideas and alternatives to address their issues and problems. This is where we need to be coming up with more ideas, wild ideas, and crazy ideas that we need to also filter and prototype. When we come up with our high definition prototypes, then we are ready to implement them. We make a plan, we come up with our roadmap, the key activities, we also set our target, what impact we want to achieve, and we will also come up with some risks so that we can come up with mitigation plans and communication plans as well. And we need to monitor the progress of our implementation activities. And if we have completely implemented our idea, our project, we need to evaluate and provide some recommendations if there's a need to enhance them, if there's a need to expand or to replicate the project in different areas, if we need to share them so that we can have the multiplier effect of our innovation. So let me talk about the one on top of our co-creation innovation process, the empathy. As I mentioned, this is at the heart of our co-creation innovation process. What is empathy? Let's try to understand it more by watching this video. So let's play the video.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Empathy is getting deeper inside yourself to know exactly how the others feel. It's actually really putting yourself in their perspective. From their angle, how do they see things? How do they really feel? That is empathy. So to be able to come up with new ideas, let us talk about the different techniques in creating alternatives. We actually present 5 techniques in the co-creation innovation process, namely lateral thinking, re-express, related world, revolution, and combine. But let me talk about the 2 interesting ones here, the lateral thinking and the related world. Lateral thinking is a mental process of generating ideas and solving problems by looking at the situation or problem from a unique perspective. This is how Edward de Bono actually defined the lateral thinking. It involves breaking away from traditional modes of thinking and discarding established patterns and preconceived notions. Typical problem solving actually involves just the linear one, actually the step-by-step approach. Edward de Bono believes that more creative answers can be obtained by taking a step sideways to re-examine a situation or problem from an entirely different viewpoint. So we need to have a lateral thinking to come up with new ideas. Let me test how you can actually think or look at a situation from a different perspective through the wordles. Okay, so I have three wordles here that you can actually try to answer using the chat box again. Let me show you this one. What can you actually see from these words? Issues. Type in the chat box. Did anybody guess it right already? Alright. And the correct answer is tennis shoes. Let's try another one. So it's a word promises with a strike through. This is very easy. Okay, this is broken promises. Next one. This is not simply letters and characters. Look at it at a different perspective. What do you think this is? Okay, this is 3 degrees below zero. Alright, I hope you had fun with this exercise, but the thing is, we need to have lateral thinking to be innovative, to come up with new ideas. You have to look at things at a different perspective. Okay, so another technique in coming up with new ideas is the related world. Related world is about finding an alternative but similar benefit or issue in another field. Just like, for example, you have been to an airport and then you've seen something that is interesting and that suddenly you thought of, oh, I can do this also in our office. I can try to apply this, something like that. Or you've been to another country and then you have seen a practice there from a bank or from another field, and then yet you see, we can also do this in our office, or we can apply this in the way we do things in our office. So that is related world. Just like an example in the PowerPoint slide here. People who write the same carpool but do not know each other. It's something that, how can we keep security in the carpool? Because carpool is a good way of minimizing traffic or easing the burden of driving to work or commuting, going to work. But how can we ensure security for our carpool riders? So we think of a similar situation where security is also important. For example, in dormitories, different people also go in a dormitory, but how can they make it secure? How can they make the people in the dormitories feel safe? Yes, you can probably think, right? Something like they do a background check of their boarders or tenants, or there's CCTV in common areas. So background check, you can also do that with carpooling. You can ask for the background of your driver. You can actually ask also for the background of your passengers through Facebook, or there should be some registration, things like that. Or CCTV, you can put like a dash cam inside the car so that the passengers can actually feel secure. So that is related world. Let me give you more examples. This one, restaurant meets airport. So this is a sushi bar. Probably the sushi bar owner went to an airport and saw this conveyor, and then thought of, oh, I can also do this in our restaurant. Have you been to a sushi bar like this? You can actually choose from a variety of sushi in front of you because it is moving, and then you can easily get your sushi from there. Another example, gaming meets automotive. The car owner or the car manufacturer thought of, how can we make our drivers navigate the radio or the music player without being distracted, without keeping their eyes away from the road? So they thought of, oh, in gaming, they actually are just looking at the TV screen and still navigating or controlling the game. So they put it in the car as one of their features. Nowadays, it's not only in the side anymore; it's even in the steering wheel itself. You can navigate your radio or your music player without moving your hands. It's actually on the steering wheel already. Okay, so that is related word. Gaming meets automotive. Another is eggs meet wine. So the wine manufacturer or producer thought of, how can we keep our wines safe and secured and cannot be broken during delivery and during storage? So they thought of, what product is so fragile that is being protected by some materials? So the eggs. So they made use of the egg packaging for their wines. So this is something that we have to practice as well, the related world. I remember in one of our workshops or exercises, somebody said, DBM procurement meets, guess what? Lazada. Okay. Yeah, what about doing online shopping for our procurement in the government? Right? So we can be more creative if we make use of all these techniques. Okay? So next step is that we come up with ideas, we filter them, we choose the favorite ones, and we prototype them. We come up with a tangible representation of our idea. Because as they say, no matter how great, an idea does not become an innovation if it is not made real. Again, idea and innovation is a new idea and useful. If it cannot be useful, it remains an idea, then it's not an innovation. So we need to prototype and implement your ideas. A prototype is a scaled down version of your product or service. It is a simulation or sample version which will enable you to test your ideas and designs before investing time and money into actually developing the product or service. It is, again, a tangible representation of your ideas. It is your way of getting your ideas across. So there are different types of prototypes. One is you can actually do it using papers, okay, paper prototypes. You draw them, you actually sketch them, okay, so that you can explain to other people your idea, or you can actually express it, get it across. Just like in the slide here, okay, they made a paper prototype of a mobile application or a computer application or a system. And a prototype can also be done through a storyboard. It's like a comic book, okay, where you actually draw the story of your idea. You come up with a storyboard. Or of course, you can also draw your idea. Just like here, it's like a bag, the Poppins bag. Okay. Your prototype can also be done through a role playing. If it's a process, you can role play it and then record it through a video. Okay. So from step 1 to the last step of the process that you have innovated, then you can actually play it so that people can see your idea. A PowerPoint presentation can also do for your prototype. You present it through your PowerPoint. You narrate your ideas, your project through a presentation. So in closing, let me reiterate that since we are in the government, it is not actually about simply thinking out of the box, but being innovative inside of the box. We need to find ways of innovating despite being confined in different rules, regulations, and government restrictions. But of course, we cannot say that, we are in the government. We cannot do this, we cannot do that. There are laws, we are confined to it. No, we can still be innovative even if we are inside of this box, inside of these restrictions, these regulations, and these restrictions. So the challenge is we need to keep innovating in the government. And there is a way to actually enhance our innovative skills. There are tips. Okay, let's start with believe that you are an innovator. Remember, an innovator's mindset. You have to be confident. Believe that you can innovate. Build creative thinking around 3 ifs. What are these 3 ifs? 1, tell yourself, what could happen if I change the way we do things? There should be a desire to change. Right? What can happen if we change the way we deliver our services to our people? Maybe they will be happier. Maybe they will be more appreciative of the way we deliver our services to them. Another if, what would I change or improve about the way we deliver our services if I wanted to be important or relevant in the next 10 years? Let us have the desire to be futuristic. How can we make our services relevant in the next 10 years? And the next if is, what would I do if I had all the resources to improve our services? So it only means let's remove the barriers. Let's remove all the restrictions. Let us be challenged Let's challenge everything. Okay? Let's think on these 3 ifs. What will happen if I improve our services? What if I want our services to be relevant in the next 10 years? And what if I have all the resources? How can I improve our services? Okay. The next, to be innovative, let's practice daydreaming. Let's dream. Let's be ambitious. Let's think of something that will transform our agency, our organization. Make time for cohesive creative thinking. Come up with a venue for people to be innovative, to be thinking of new ideas. Remember, or if you have seen in Google, they have this space for creative thinking. What about us? Let's provide also a venue. We simply, invite people to share their ideas, to actually generate new ideas, to solve problems or to address issues in agencies. And then come up also with a venue, an opportunity to pitch these ideas. Give your people a chance to pitch their ideas to the management, for them to bounce their ideas off to others. Okay. This opportunity can be done through an innovation activity, innovation team, innovation laboratory, where you can actually discuss this with a group of people. So again, even if we have some restrictions, even if we are in the government, we can enhance our innovative skills. In closing, let me show you this video.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
What did we learn from the video? The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world, they are actually the ones who do. So let's push the world forward. Let's push our government forward. Let us start innovating the government. Thank you, everyone, and we hope that you achieved what you actually expected from this session. Our Q&A will follow through the live chat, so feel free to send your questions through the chat box, and our team will be more than willing to respond to all your questions. Thank you once again, and keep safe, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.